It's only September, but I've already renewed or nearly renewed many of my hotel and airline statuses this year. In today's tutorial, we're uncovering how to get top-tier statuses with brands like Marriott, Hyatt, American Airlines, and many other programs. Even if you don't want to spend tens of thousands of dollars or spend dozens of nights in a hotel room every year. So let's jump in, starting with Marriott. Okay, the first status that we are going to cover is my Marriott Titanium status. It's early September. I've already hit 76 nights, which means that I have locked in Titanium for another year for next year. But you can see that I did not actually stay 76 nights with Marriott. I've only stayed 21 nights this year. 19 were paid and 2 were on points. And I've spent a total of about $4,300. So, how do I have Titanium status? Well, a large part of it is that I have a couple of Marriott credit cards. I have the Marriott Bonvoy Business with American Express, and I also have the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant with American Express. Between those two cards, that covers 40 out of the 75 required elite nights to lock in Titanium status. So I only really needed 35 nights. But I only stayed 21. So how is this working? Well, earlier this year, Marriott once again had their amazing double elite night promotion. So the deal with this was that between February 13 and April 29, for every night that you stayed, you would get 1,000 bonus points plus a bonus elite night. So I pulled the logs of where I was staying in Marriott earlier this year. So I spent 3 nights in Miami. That didn't count for the double elite nights. But here, in February, these 4 nights that we spent in Arizona suddenly counted for 8 nights. These 2 nights that we spent in Hong Kong became 4. These 4 nights that we spent in Vietnam became 8 nights, so on and so forth. So we got a lot of double nights that way. And these double elite nights only count if you are doing cash stays. So if you have the flexibility to jump on this type of promotion when they bring it back, which hopefully they do again next year, I would highly recommend, if you have the flexibility to travel somewhere like Southeast Asia or Latin America, where the cash rate of hotels is pretty cheap, go ahead and do that. Because these Vietnam hotels were not that expensive. And also because it had to be a cash stay, my strategy here is to book the cheapest room, the standard room in the hotel that I want to stay at, and then apply Marriott Suite Upgrade certificates, which you get by being Platinum or Titanium. And that can be very lucrative. Like with this Renaissance Hong Kong Harborview Hotel, I booked the base room that was $200, $250 per night, but then applied a suite upgrade certificate. So we got upgraded to the Dynasty Suite, which was, I think, going for about $1,200 per night at the time that we were there. Do you have a destination that you would like to visit on points? We prepare a free, personalized award search tutorial every week in the GeoBreeze Travel newsletter. Send us your exact route, travel dates, and points details at geobreezetravel.com/request to request a free personalized tutorial. And once you get one status, it's really easy to get a whole bunch of other statuses. For example, here are some statuses that I have, even if I rarely use the airline or hotel program. The nice thing is, when you have one status, oftentimes it will open up availability to have other statuses with different partner programs. For example, like you just saw, I have Marriott Titanium. And if you Google Marriott United Partnership, you will be taken to this page where you can sign in and link your Marriott and United accounts. And if you have Ambassador or Titanium with Marriott, then you will get automatic United Silver status. So whether it's worth it or not, if I log into United over here, you'll see that I have Premier Silver status. But you'll see that this year in 2024, I have 0 qualifying flights, I have earned 0 qualifying points, I have met 0 out of the 4 flight segment minimums, and if I look at my past trips with United, it says I have no past trips because I apparently haven't even flown a United flight this year. Yet, I have silver status just from having Marriott Titanium. There's other perks here as well, where if you have Titanium or Ambassador, this kind of works the other way too, where if you already have United Gold, Platinum, or Premier 1K, you do get automatic Marriott Gold status, which I don't think is worth very much, but you do get that. You can also transfer points and miles between Marriott and United. Again, not really sure I would recommend doing that, but that is something that you are allowed to do by linking your accounts. If you're curious about what different status matches you qualify for, I highly recommend going to this site, which is statusmatch.com. You can apply now. It's completely free. You just tell them what statuses you have already, and then they will send you different emails like this one where I'm invited to status match over to Vietnam Airlines, which might be useful if I want some kind of status with SkyTeam. Like if I lived in a Delta hub like Atlanta, Salt Lake City, Minneapolis, Seattle, and wanted to go into Delta lounges, but I didn't really have Delta status, oftentimes these types of promotions can be very valuable because even if you're like, I'm never going to fly to Vietnam, what am I going to do with that? Having international status with an alliance partner is oftentimes a lot more valuable than having status with just the American version of this. Like right now I have United Silver, but back in the day I did a promotion to get status with Singapore KrisFlyer. And because I had status with Singapore, I then had Star Alliance Gold status, which let me into all of the United Lounge. My husband had United Gold status, so a very similar status, but whenever we were flying domestically, they wouldn't let him into the lounges. I had to use my Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer for that. So these international statuses, even if you're like, I'm never going to go to that country, don't knock them. Sign up at Status Match and see what kinds of offers you get because it's completely free. Another website is statusmatcher.com. This one is not so much where they'll proactively let you know what you qualify for, but you can see what other people have qualified for lately. And so you can see if you can do something similar. I live in Las Vegas, so there's all sorts of status matching opportunities here. Like for some reason, I'm allowed to keep status matching to Caesar's Diamond. I don't know why they keep letting me do this, but it works for some people, including me. So I still have Caesar's Diamond, even though I have not done much with them lately. But with my Caesar's Diamond status, I was able to also status match to Platinum at the Wynn, and that got me some dinner credits and some spa credits. And then from having Platinum status at the Wynn, then we just drove up a block over to the Fontainebleau, and I was able to status match to their Gold status and got some spa credits and some dining credits that way. So once you have one or two statuses, you can match all over the place and get all kinds of fun rewards. Let me know in the comments if you've ever status matched into something fun as well. Are you enjoying these types of videos? If yes, please let me know. Click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for even more points and miles tips every week. Also, let me know in the comments which airline or hotel status you are most interested in. And like I mentioned in the first tutorial, I'm able to use the Marriott Bonvoy Business and Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant cards to fast track my Marriott status every year, which I then use for status matching to United and other programs. If you're in the market for a new card to earn more points or status, but you're not sure what card to get, we offer free credit card consultations at geobreezetravel.com/consultations. We will send you personalized recommendations based on your particular goals, budget, and lifestyle. Many of the links that we send out are referral links from students in the Points Accelerator, rather than our own affiliate links. If you would like for us to send out your links so you can get more referral points too, sign up for the Points Accelerator waitlist at geobreezetravel.com/waitlist. Our next walkthrough covers how I am renewing my American Airlines Executive Platinum status this year without putting $200,000 on a credit card or spending tens of thousands of dollars on American airline flights. And here's how you can too. Something to note about this Vietnam Airlines status match offer that I received through statusmatch.com. I don't think it's because I happen to have silver with United. I think it's because I have American Airlines Executive Platinum and I am set to renew that again. In order to receive American Airlines Executive Platinum each year, you need to earn 200,000 loyalty points. I'm currently at 143,000 and I will easily meet 200,000 by the cutoff date, which is March 1st. Usually I try to get it by December 31st. So how did I do this? Well, I definitely did not put $200,000 on the American Airlines credit card, But I did get a new card this year, and they had a couple of bonuses where I've earned 20,000 loyalty points just from putting spend on the card. Additionally, I fly with American Airlines fairly regularly, but let's break down what's going on here. So, first of all, you know how Marriott and United are partners? American Airlines and Hyatt are the same way, where if you Google link American Airlines and Hyatt, you'll be taken to this page, and once you're here, you can link your accounts. And if you have any status, like Discover status or Gold or Ruby status, whatever the lowest one is with American Airlines, you can link Hyatt and American Airlines and double dip. And that means every time that you stay at a Hyatt hotel, you are going to earn American Airlines miles. And every time you fly with American Airlines, you'll earn some Hyatt points. I'm double dipping a little bit that way, but I also earn some miles with just flying on American Airlines. Not a ton, but when you do have status already, they give you those bonus multipliers. So once you're already at status, it makes it a bit easier to keep status. As far as how I'm going to earn the other 60,000 points, there's a couple different tips and tricks. So I have a few more flights this year, so I'll earn some of it that way. But the play that people really like this year is Advantage hotels. It used to be Rocket Miles was the way to go, but now if you have an American Airlines credit card, highly recommend checking out advantagehotels.com. Click on Earn Miles, type in your city, and then probably a Tuesday to Wednesday or Wednesday to Thursday, pick a weekday, and then click search. And then you can sort by the highest miles earned. So you can see for some of these, you can effectively just buy your way to earning these different loyalty points. You can earn 10,000 miles for a $600 night stay, 6,000 miles for a $300 night stay. So that's kind of like earning 20 points per dollar just by staying at different hotels, whether you actually want to do a staycation or if you want to do mattress runs. Like if you're paying $203 per night, but then you're earning 5,700 points at the Luxor, that's like earning 28 loyalty points per dollar. So if you're like, I need to figure out some way to earn American Airlines miles pretty fast without spending a whole bunch of money, I recommend checking out advantagehotels.com. As far as how I am going to earn the rest of my loyalty points, I don't think I'm going to do a whole bunch of mattress runs with Advantage Hotels. I'll meet this just by taking a few more flights this year. And then also, I know it's only 1 point per dollar, but I earn a lot of points just by doing charitable contributions. Something that we've been doing since the dawn of time in the Patreon is earmarking many tens of thousands of dollars per year to different charities nominated by our Patreon members. So if there is a particular charitable cause that is very close to your heart, I recommend joining the Patreon for $5 or $10 a month. Make your recommendations about what charity we should support, and usually I do this month by month, but this year I am actually batching it in December so that I know how much of that money to put on my American Airlines card versus other credit cards where I want to earn points. And in case you're ever wondering how was I earning all of my statuses back in the day, a lot of charitable donations. Yeah, you do $3,000 at a time and that's a sign-up bonus, and that's how we got a lot of credit card bonuses. So if there's any particular charity you want to support, feel free to send me a message in the Patreon. Our last walkthrough covers how I have already renewed my Hyatt Globalist status this year and my plan for 100 elite nights every year. If you are interested in leveling up your points and miles game and getting more free trips and upgrades, we have a couple of options for you. The first one is the GeoBreeze Travel Patreon, which you can join starting at just $5 per month through patreon.com/GeoBreezeTravel. Every month, we prepare personalized step-by-step tutorials for the exact routes that our members request. We also provide open forum group coaching where you can ask any questions that you have about points, miles, and credit cards in general. And we talk through some of the tips and tricks that I don't really mention on social media. Part of the reason that I want to get so many Hyatt Elite nights is so that I can gift those valuable guest of honor and suite upgrade certificates to our clients. If you are looking to get even more free travel with points and you are a business owner or individual who spends more than $100,000 per year on expenses, we typically save our clients somewhere between $30,000 to $60,000 in travel in the first 6 to 12 months of working with our one-on-one points portfolio management service. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, book a free intro chat with us at geobreezetravel.com/intro call to learn more. Okay, here's how I am getting so many Hyatt Elite nights and how you can too. All right, let's talk about how I am renewing World of Hyatt Globalist, and not only that, but it usually just takes 60 nights to renew Globalist every year. I'm at 77, and I am aiming for 100 nights this year because I really want these buy one, get one free Miraval nights, so we'll see if I can make it happen. I think we'll get there. But for everybody who's wondering, how did you even get to 60? It's only September. I looked through all of my Hyatt activity and made a log, and basically, we do a lot of mattress runs at the Rio. So I'm based in Las Vegas, so I have this advantage that we just go to the Rio a lot for staycations. You can't do this remotely. You do have to physically show up and check into the hotel. But there's lots of cheap hotels all over the world with Hyatt. So if you live next to a Hyatt hotel, like a Hyatt Place or a Hyatt House, that's only $50 per night, you could implement this strategy, but I would question if it's worth it for most people who are not content creators. So what we usually do is we'll check into the Rio, stay for 3 nights because it's usually cheapest, Sunday through Wednesday, and 36 out of my 77 nights are at the Rio so far this year. And those average at about $41 per night. But overall, with all of the 77 elite nights that I've gotten, we're only averaging $48. And that's because while we do sometimes pay for hotels like the Grand Hyatt Sao Paulo, which was a couple $100s per night, we stay at a lot of hotels for free using points or free night certificates. So the Park Hyatt Buenos Aires, the Hyatt Centric in Santiago, Thompson DC, Park Hyatt Paris Vendôme, Hotel de Louvre, Linder Hotel Frankfurt, all of those were $0 out of pocket. Additionally, I really like to stack different Hyatt promos. So when we were in South America, that happened to line up with a Latin America promo where you could get bonus points on each stay. And my stay at the Hyatt Centric Brickell Miami, that lined up with a Florida promotion where we could get double elite nights. We had a meetup in Washington, D.C. earlier this year. I used 2 free night certificates, but there was a 2x elite night promo at Thompson Hotels, so that turned into 4 elite nights. And the reason that I like getting so many elite nights is because with every 10 or so, you get to gift somebody a suite night upgrade or guest of honor award, or you can use it for yourself. And that's something that we gift to a lot of our one-on-one clients. And every time they use one of those certificates, they get upgrades upon availability or free breakfast, and I actually get the elite night credit for it. So I've gifted 6 of those this year, and I've gotten some elite nights that way. I also have the World of Hyatt personal credit card, and it looks like I've gotten 4 elite nights from that. So that means that I've spent about $10,000 on the credit card so far this year, because for every $5,000 that you put on the card, you get 2 elite nights. And if you're looking at this like, I don't want to run these kinds of shenanigans at the Rio, what else can I do instead? If you are a business owner with high spend, I recommend the World of Hyatt Business Credit Card to a lot of business owners. For every $10,000 that you put on the card, you earn 5 elite night credits. And if you put $120,000 of business expenses, or personal expenses, I guess, on the card in a calendar year, you get automatic Globalist status. You get your 60 nights without having to do any of this nonsense. So that's how I'm renewing my Hyatt status this year. There's a lot of other ways to get this too. I know some people who go to Mexico and maybe make friends with the Hyatt manager there and then have them do ghost check-ins. I don't know what specific hotel they do that with, but it does involve befriending an actual person, so it depends on if you want to do that. Or if you live next to a Hyatt that's $50 or $60 per night and you just want to do staycations and use the pool for the summer at the hotel or check in and collect the shampoos or something like that, there's a lot of different ways to mattress run. But before you do any of that, I would make sure you do the cost-benefit analysis of, if you had Globalist status, how many nights are you actually going to stay at a Hyatt hotel in the upcoming year? Do you have some reason to get these certificates, like you're gifting them to your clients or something like that? And then you can use that
information to make the decision of whether or not it's worth it for you to do these kinds of mattress runs like I do.
I hope you found those tutorials useful. Suggestions for future topics are always welcome. In the meantime, if you enjoyed these tutorials, I think you will enjoy this video next.